infinite potentials of a sustainable city, of a smart city. Today we find out how introducing smart energy to a small remote island has changed the lives of the people there.
신재생에너지를 사용함으로써 우리의 생활이 어떻게 바뀔 것인지, 어떤 일자리가 창출될 것인지.
We'll also look at the innovative power grid set up on a beautiful resort island and the smart grid that links renewable energy, housing and transportation together. This is the energy system of a smart city in which electricity is managed and used by all.
저도 전기차를 가지고 있어서 저도 발전 사업자가 되고 그 배터리에서 50원일 때 충전했다가 2,000원일 때 팔기도 하고.
An eco-friendly city famous for its brilliant sunlight. It has been leading the smart city movement with its extensive development of solar power energy.
The first one is to get more renewable energy. So we have to get better in solar energy.
Smart cities are still in the making, but this firm eco-friendly vision shows us what the future city holds. Kim Song-kyun has the list of the islands and cities we're going to visit.
So last time we went to Copenhagen and Bornholm, and we learned most important factor for smart city is sustainability. But here, sustainability does not only mean to keep the things for the future. There's more meaning than just the sustainability, which is focused on people who live in the city, and also show them why it's important to live in a city with nature and also feel the happiness of being in nature. For that reason, we're going to visit Cobrador Island in the Philippines, Jeju Island in Korea, and Freiburg in Germany.
Our first destination is an island village in the Philippines. It takes 16 hours to sail from Batangas port in Manila to the Romblon port. From there, we have to travel farther to reach the final destination. This is Cobrador Island.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
It's a small community, home to some 240 households and a school.
Hi, yeah, morning. Good afternoon.
Friendly and welcoming, most of the islanders fish for a living. A new power plant was built in this village some time ago, built by the Korea Energy Agency. It's a solar power plant standing on a hill overlooking the ocean.
The sea is very important for me because we catch them, fish can eat.
Energy. Energy is giving us many things like light.
My energy. Okay. So, ang buhay ko ay lumalakas. Kumukuha ako ng lakas, enerhiya ng aking katawan.
There is a reason we've come to this island that hardly seems to fit the description of a future city. This beautiful island community is actually a small living lab testing out urban energy independence. This is an energy testing ground for a smart city. Now we're going to look at the changes that solar power has brought to the village. Cobrador Island, an energy testing ground. The Philippines, a nation of 7,000 islands. The Korea Energy Agency chose Cobrador out of the thousands.
왜냐하면 필리핀은 이제 7,000개 이상의 섬으로 구성된 나라고, 그다음에 저희 신재생 에너지의 특성을 살린 어떤 그런 시설을 함으로써 이제 달라질 수 있는 가능성이 제일 높은 지역이라고 생각했기 때문에 저희가 이제 코브라도를 드디어 이제 선정을 하게 됐습니다.
Cobrador Island boasts a pristine natural environment. It's hard to expect urban conveniences to exist on such an out-of-the-way place. Not too long ago, the village got only 8 hours of electricity per day. Then, a small solar power system was installed in each house.
In Romblon province, there are still around 4 island municipalities with the consumers between 1,500 households to 2,500 households who are not receiving yet a 24-hour service of electricity. We believe that this solar diesel hybrid system will be the right solution in providing those people living in those island municipalities a 24-hour service of electricity for them to enjoy the benefits of a 24-hour service of electricity where the people in the main islands are now enjoying.
Transporting the building materials wasn't that much of a problem thanks to the villagers' help. The construction itself was a valuable opportunity to build friendship with the residents.
It is a very big challenge for us to construct the power plant. We have a lack of infrastructures like good ports, transportation equipment, reinforcing bars, cements, and almost everything came from from the main island of Romblon. So we just use our small pump boat, and sometimes we modified a transportation boat to bring in the equipment.
Smile, sweetie, smile.
The life of fisherman Orley's family has changed a lot. He catches fish and sells them on distant Romblon Island. Ice is a necessity.
This is my father's life. He can store fish in an ice box.
He sails out to the sea in a small boat and catches fish using a traditional technique. The sea is like his second home. He enjoys a big catch today. But in the past, even a big haul couldn't make him very happy because he couldn't get ice to keep the fish fresh for sale.
Kasi kung iisipin natin noon yung mga nakukuha naming isda na bubulok lang, hindi na dadala dahil malayo kami sa mainland, Romblon. Then wala kaming choice, lalo na kung malakas ang alon. So ngayon, na nagkaroon tayo ng solar panel, may hilo na tayo, may mga ice na kami. Nape-preserve na namin kahit hindi na kami pumabayan muna, na-i-stock yung mga namin, yung mga isda, mga frozen na mga karne, then malaking tulong sa amin yun.
Now he has a freezer, which runs on the electricity produced by the solar panels. He can keep the day's catch fresh. Meanwhile, his wife is typing out on an old typewriter. She doesn't know much about the tools of the 21st century, like computers or the internet, but her children are different.
This is my life in school. We can connect into internet and get some information.
Her two children go to the only school on Cobrador. This projector was a recent acquisition for the school, teaching from kindergarten to 6th grade. The teacher says the students' concentration has improved.
So we teach here by not using these materials. We use only the blackboard, the books. So it is traditional way of teaching. Compare here, it is a modern equipment for teaching pupils. Yes, the pupils motivate. They motivate to listen to the teacher because of these materials in learning. They focus because the learning, the pupils can easily understand the lesson by when the teacher used modern equipment in teaching. They can focus, they learn faster compared to the traditional way of teaching.
The school even has a computer room. Internet access can turn any remote place into a future city. Children's eyes sparkle as they meet a wider world. The Korea Energy Agency has built a power grid for the renewable energy available on the island. Each house generates power by using the blinding sunlight, and any excess electricity is stored in the plant's energy storage system.
각 집에 이제 발전소가 하나씩 생김으로 인해서 각 사람들이 이제 필요한 만큼 쓰고 그 다음에 필요한 만큼 쓰고 좀 남으면 에너지 저장고에 넣어놨다가 필요할 때 또 쓰고 남으면 팔고 모자르면 이웃한테 사고 이런 시스템이 어떻게 보면 스마트시티의 구현의 핵심적인 요소라고 봅니다.
How much electricity and energy is needed to make a person happy? The villagers are more than happy to have access to electricity around the clock. More importantly, the island's natural environment will remain protected and keep providing generously for the residents.
The objective, the goal of the Cobrador hybrid system is really to introduce 24-hour, dependable, clean, renewable energy to meet the needs of all the households on the island. I think another factor, again, if we look at how this project has impacted on the community.
These are the future smart cities' visions for happiness that have been tested and proven on Cobrador Island. Achieve energy independence and preserve bountiful nature. Jeju-do Island, at the southernmost point of Korea. This scenic island is also building a new energy system. Jeju-do Island, a world-famous tourist destination that sees 5 million visitors annually. It's building a smart grid over the entire island. A smart grid is a smart city's electricity system through which power suppliers and consumers can monitor and manage power in real time. Korea's first wind farm was built in Haengwon-ri in 1997. Renewable energy rekindled this village.
특히 행원 같은 경우는 그 마을 사람들이 이제 국내 최초의 풍력 발전 단지라는 좀 자긍심도 있고, 그리고 저희 풍력 발전 단지로 이제 나온 수익을 이제 마을에 그 일부분 환원도 하고 있습니다. 여기 사용하는 전기를 지금 행원리 마을에서 이제 직접 사용하고 있습니다. 그리고 지금 주변에 이제 가로등도 다 LED 가로등으로 교체가 됐고요. 그래서 지금 이 마을 자체가 어떻게 보면 스마트 이제 타운이라고 이제 생각하시면 되고요.
This plant's power production and consumption are constantly monitored and managed by computers. Once the smart grid system is completed, consumers all over Jeju will get to participate in power management. The electricity storage system which stores and distributes power is the key component of the smart grid. The pristine island of Jeju has long searched for ways to preserve its natural environment far into the future. One of the solutions is the ongoing renewable energy project. It works in tandem with the construction of a smart grid, the power system of a smart city. Wind power on Jeju Island, known for its strong winds, is expected to be the backbone of the island's electricity supply. Korea's first offshore wind power generation was achieved on the island. Offshore wind power can generate more energy and does not cause noise pollution. The entire process is also controlled by computers in real time.
탐나해상에서 발전되는 전력은 제주 도민이 연간 24,000 가구가 사용할 수 있는 그 정도의 양입니다. 그 친환경적인 에너지 양으로서 굉장히 큰 양이 되겠습니다. 우리나라는 해상풍력 상업운전용으로서 1호입니다. 우리나라가. 그래서 이 부분에 대해서 국내뿐만 아니라 외국에서도 관심이 많고요. 특히나 이 지역 주민과 어떻게 그 민원을 해결하면서 이 건설을 거치고 상업운전에 이르렀는지 이런 거에 관심이 많습니다.
Electricity generated by various energy sources like wind and sunlight is stored at the ESS Center and managed by the Integrated Operations Center before it is distributed to homes, buildings, and electric vehicles. When it's particularly windy, electricity generation goes up while prices go down. Users have the flexibility of purchasing electricity when the prices are affordable. This is the International Electricity Vehicle Expo, marking its 5th year. This annual expo for electric vehicles is held in Jeju every year. Electric cars are an important means of transportation in a smart city. In order to be connected to the smart city, transportation must be fueled by electricity, not diesel or gasoline. Smart City expert Kim Song-kyun is working as a consultant for this expo.
As you can see today, electric vehicle, this is a key figure and key driver for smart city. Of course, there are so many elements in smart city, but EV, electric vehicle, or e-mobility, as you can see everywhere, this is one of the most important parts for everyday life, the people who live in smart city.
The General Assembly of the Global EV Association Network and other EV forums are held all over the convention hall.
영상들을 보셨는데요. 여기 보니까 어떻습니까? 모든 것들이 다 연결이 되고 있습니다. 고루요, 배터리로요. 그래서 저희는 IoT가 아닌 BOT라고 합니다.
Jeju is putting all its resources to EV promotion.
힐링하면서 비즈니스를 할 수 있는 최적의 세계 환경 수도와 잘 정체성과 맞지 않느냐 하는 거고요. 그래서 제주도는 카본 프리 아일랜드 제주 바이 2030에서 2030년까지 약 한 40만 대의 자동차를 전부 다 100% 바꾼다는 비전을 이제는 정책으로 해서 지금 2030년까지 1, 2, 3로 계속 진행을 하고 있습니다.
The Jeju Provincial Office has already declared it will make the island carbon-free by 2030. At the core of this plan is the distribution of electric vehicles. These green vehicles are going to start an energy revolution across the island.
전기차가 10대, 100대, 1000대 늘어나면 이거를 원전이나 화력발전소 그 전기로 쓸 수는 없는 거 아닙니까? 그러다 보니까 이것을 이러면 자동차에 들어가는 전기는 신재생 에너지로 해야 되겠다. 그럼 신재생 에너지 산업이 만들어지면 이거를 담을 수 있는 에너지 스토리지가 만들어져야 되고 그러면 이런 것들이 하나의 디지털화하고 된다면 그게 스마트 그린 시티고.
A bus company in Sogipo City. It purchased its first electric bus in 2016 and deployed it on general bus routes for the first time in Korea. Currently, the company operates 59 electric buses. Passenger reactions have been positive. Electric buses are more pleasant to ride in, for they produce less noise and air pollution than conventional buses. The Jeju government plans to add 20 more electric buses every year to boost the number of eco-friendly public transportation systems on the road. Supplying EVs requires a more advanced automobile manufacturing technology and a better infrastructure. Still, the provincial government has confidently proclaimed that all vehicles on the island will be replaced by electric ones. Energy paradigm is changing in the age of smart cities, and Jeju believes that electric vehicles will bring a new future to the island.
제주도는 관광지이기 때문에 그 운송 부분의 에너지 소비가 전체 에너지 소비의 한 50%를 차지합니다. 이제 그러한 배경하에서 그 전기자동차 보급이 이제 같이 추진이 되고요. 동반해서 난방, 조리 모든 에너지 영역이 현재 화석연료를 쓰는 그런 단계에서 전기를 쓰는 그런 기술적 변화를 지금 겪고 있습니다. 거대한 어떤 에너지 시스템이 큰 변화가 제주도에서 이루어지고 있는 그런 형편이고요.
Smart grids are all the rage in the residential areas as well. The eco-friendly residential compound has solar panels set up on all the roofs. Built with stone, wood, and other eco-friendly materials, the complex uses 5-kilowatt solar cells instead of the 3-kilowatt ones subsidized by the Jeju provincial government. More powerful solar cells results in an energy surplus.
태양광이 오히려 여름에는 에어컨을 풀 가동해도 15,000원 정도, 10,000원 정도 나오는데 오히려 충전되는 에너지가 남아서 2월 돼요. 한전에 보관을 하고 있어요. 그러면 겨울에는 일조량이 좀 약할 때는 내가 모아놨던 누적했던 전기량을 또 갖다 쓰고 해서 이건 정말 최고다.
The residents guiltlessly turn on the cooling and heating systems and use induction cooktops in the kitchen. That's because the solar panels on the roof generate more power than they can use. They also get around in electric cars. The Jeju provincial government has subsidized the installation of home EV chargers so they can charge their cars at home. The residents say the money saved on gas helps with household finances. The living environment of this greenhouse has changed the residents' lives as well. Low walls built with Jeju's indigenous basalt rock are part of the landscape that foster a slower and more relaxed lifestyle.
너무 좋죠. 가장 좋은 거는 이제 아이가 잔디 같은 걸 잘 밟아볼 일이 없는데 이제 눈 떠서 나가면은 바로 잔디가 있고 뭐 아침에 일어나서 뭐 가장 먼저 하는 게 이제 당근 썰어주면 나가서 토끼 밥 주고 이제 닭 밥 주고 뭐 타운하우스로 조성되어 있으니까 동네 주변 사람들하고도 가까이 지낼 수 있고 뭐 아이 키우는 사람들도 많으니까 뭐 서울이랑 또 다른 환경에서 지낼 수 있는 게 좋은 것 같아요.
This building named Eco House also produces its own energy. The house generates power with sunlight and produces enough electricity for its home needs. There is a garage for electric vehicles, and this room, resembling a boiler room, is equipped with an in-house smart grid system connected to the power company.
이곳은 태양광에서 생산된 전기를 집에서 바로 사용할 수 있게끔 전력을 변환시켜주고 또 저장할 수 있는 그런 장치들이 있는 전기실이라고 할 수 있습니다.
Eco-friendly elements like renewable energy, EVs, ESS, and energy-saving appliances work together to enable independent energy production, storage, and consumption on the premises. This house is a smart city in itself.
모니터를 보시면요. 지금 그 태양광에서 7.15kW가 정상적으로 전력 생산이 됐고요. 저희가 이제 어제 그제 엑스포로 인해서 집을 비웠기 때문에 사용량이 많지 않았어요. 그래서 소모된 것은 0.81km가 소모가 됐기 때문에 결국은 한전 그리드 쪽에 6.34km의 전력이 저장이 되어 있다는 그게 나타나게 된 것입니다.
Jeju residents' lifestyles are changing, proving that the island is transforming into a smart city.
뭐든지 대규모, 대단지로 했었을 때는 거기에 따르는 부작용이 늘 있다고 봅니다. 그래서 각각의 집에서 모든 집들이 전기를 사용하고 있고 건물들이 전기를 필요로 하기 때문에 하나하나 점을 찍듯이 신재생 에너지를 사용해 가면 모든 지역이나 범위가 카본 프리로 태어날 수 있지 않을까 그렇게 생각을 하고요.
Sunlight accounts for most of the renewable energy used at homes. The most pioneering city in this field is Freiburg. The Rhine flows not far from the city, serving as a border for Germany and France. This is Freiburg, the city of the sun, the city with the most fertile and beautiful natural environment in Germany. Freiburg lies on the western slope of the vast mountain range called Schwarzwald, near the Rhine. It's a small city with a population of only 220,000 people. Since it was named the environmental capital of Germany in 1992, Freiburg has been a role model for green cities and continues to lead today's smart city movement. Located near the French-Swiss border, it has thriving commercial and tourism industries and is an education city that attracts many college students. The time-honored city of Freiburg was actually rebuilt from the ruins of World War II. At the center stands the majestic Freiburg Minster, the only structure that was not destroyed during the war. Freiburg residents recalled the city's long-standing tradition and brought back the beautiful medieval city. What they are just as proud of as their classic architecture is the city's natural environment. The dense black forest spreads out untouched by the city. The observatory rising above it provides a spectacular view befitting the city's moniker, the City of the Sun. Freiburg receives more sunshine than anywhere else in Europe.
It's a nice place because a lot of people live here, open-minded people, a lot of students, young people, so people are green-minded here in this place. You can see it like a lot of funny solar cars and stuff like that, and the politics are green in this place. So they're fighting for more environmental friendly stuff and yeah, less pollution.
Okay. Freiburg is a pretty nice city. I like it a lot. It's a green city. It's not that big, not that small. It's got everything you need, I think. I like it a lot.
Freiburg became an eco-city over the decades after it opposed the construction of a nuclear power plant in the 1970s. Worldwide environmental crisis also helped the city realize the need for an alternative solution.
But participation really is important, to talk with the people, to convince them to make things or don't do things. And I think the start really was in the 1970s. There was a big movement against a nuclear plant they wanted to build in the surrounding of Freiburg. And they talked to each other. And this movement against changed to a movement, what do we want? Not what you don't want, but what do we want? And this was the start of the beginning of this renewable energy topic, solar energy.
Freiburg citizens want to safeguard the natural environment they fought so hard for well into the 21st century. Kim Sung-kyun ventures out to the downtown area. He sees small waterways called Beckel, the city's famous landmark along the streets. These narrow runnels, built during the Middle Ages, flow into the Rhine. We first visit Freiburg City Hall, newly opened last year. Kim meets with the urban facility manager. German smart city expert Ali also joins them.
We usually build, whenever we build new houses, passive buildings. Every one of our new schools are passive buildings or better, maybe plus energy. And this building is a net plus energy building. And I will explain a little bit more about it.
Passive buildings designed to save energy are derived from the German word Passivhaus. There are also plus energy buildings that produce more energy than it uses. The new City Hall building demonstrates how energy is managed in Freiburg architecture. This net plus energy building can even transfer energy to another building. Aesthetics are also important. As a place that provides public services, it has an expansive open hall and white interior. In the inner section, a garden surrounds solar panels. It's not only visually pleasing, but also helps cool and heat the building through solar and geothermal energy. Each room is heated and cooled with underground water. People here don't have to stand being hot or cold to save energy. The photovoltaic panels installed on the surface generate more than enough energy.
This new City Hall is very transparent, has a lot of glazing at the outside, and you can also see some wooden pieces that remind of the Black Forest. You can see also photovoltaics, which is very important to reach the net energy plus building standard. We use it for our own workspaces, but we also put it back into the energy network, so it serves everybody. It can go into the neighbor's house, but it can also go in the city center town hall, which is still there.
Bicycles are the most common transportation system. In Freiburg, bikes are faster and more efficient than cars.
Sometimes a tram,
but normally I'm using the bicycle.
So bicycle is enough for you to commute to area in here?
Yes, I use it to go to my work, all the day.
Germany, home to Mercedes-Benz and BMW, is a country that loves automobiles. But in this smart city, cars are no longer welcomed. Since the 1990s, tram lines have been replacing motorways in downtown Freiburg. Since well-planned tram routes connect even more remote places, public transportation has become the fastest and the most convenient means to get around. People ride their bikes to a station before hopping on a tram. The trams are powered by electricity produced by renewable energy.
79%, so almost 80% of the people walk from or bike from A to B, and only 20% go by car. And the traffic is very slow. Normally you have in Germany 50 kilometers per hour, and in Freiburg you normally have 30 kilometers per hour. And that's really an important issue in this aspect, because the bicycle is the fastest vehicle in Freiburg.
Established in 1899, this is the largest transport company in Freiburg. It has long provided tram and bus services to the city residents.
Thanks for accepting us. So this is the place, the VAG. So shall we go that way? Yep.
Electrically powered trams first appeared at the end of the 19th century. Interestingly, this electric transport mode has a longer history than automobiles. The age-old transportation is receiving a new spotlight in the era of smart cities in the 21st century.
We have 74 streetcars, we have 64 buses, and last year we had more than 80 million passengers. That means we have around about 220,000 passengers a day. That's the number of inhabitants of the city of Freiburg.
Their trams and electric buses are in operation all over Freiburg, helping the firm to enjoy an explosive growth.
This is a light rail train from the year 1991.
1991.
It's 33 meters long, and it has been the first train with one low-floor entrance.
Okay.
Yeah. This one is one of our newest. It's from the year 2015. It's completely low floor, and it's 9 meters longer.
Okay.
Streetcars in Freiburg get longer and longer every time because the number of our customers is increasing very, very fast.
A tram's lifespan stands at 40 years. But it may be stretched longer as more efficient and digitalized trams are being developed. To Freiburg citizens, there can be no better means of mobility than trams.
Well, it's very good when you can connect urban planning with mobility planning, because mobility planning is part of urban planning. And that means the offer of environmental friendly modes of transportation should be very good, very attractive.
There's an area in Freiburg that smart city developers are particularly interested in. It's Vauban. Located in southern Germany, near the French border, Vauban used to house the French army following World War II. After the French left the village in 1992, the place underwent extensive urban development. Miss Hannah has been running a bakery here for nearly 20 years.
I live here at Vauban since 2001, and I built my apartment together with our people. The town, Freiburg, they bought the ground to private people, and there were groups, and they built houses together. This was a chance to become owner of an apartment for many people here, and many people took that chance.
The Sun Ship in the Vauban community was built in 1994. An integrated retail and commercial space, the Sun Ship was the world's first energy office to run entirely on solar power and built with the passive construction method. Germany's top name in solar-powered architecture, Rolf Disch Solar Architecture, designed this iconic structure. The firm's office building also produces energy using its huge solar panels. The firm was founded by famed architect Rolf Disch, who was involved in the protest against the construction of a nuclear plant in the 1970s.
In fact, it was the first nuclear power plant in the world which was not built because of citizens' protests. It was a long process going over like 15, 20 years, and Mr. Disch got involved there, and many people got involved there. In this process, people started thinking about that it is not enough to say we don't want nuclear power. We have to come up with an alternative.
All the homes in the Vauban district were built with the passive method, characterized by high insulation and high efficiency. When solar panels were installed, the home's annual electricity consumption went down to zero. The entire city is clean and green. It's a city of carbon-free houses and streets without cars. A look at the Vauban makes you realize just how much homes and vehicles contribute to urban pollution.
In countries like Germany, the energy consumption is about 40% buildings, 30% industry, 30% traffic. So the biggest part is buildings. 75% of the energy consumed in buildings comes from heating and cooling. So this is the big part. If you can reduce that to almost zero, this is a big contribution in the fight against climate change. And this is the technology, the top-level technology we call passive house technology.
This firm went a little further than just designing energy-saving or zero-energy homes. It came up with a plus-energy house that stores excess electricity in a public grid and uses it later. This architectural design aims to save every bit of solar energy. The building that stands out among all the eco-friendly structures in Vauban is the Heliodrome. This residence produces about 5 times more energy than it needs and sells excess electricity to bring in an annual average income of €4,000.
The building is basically it's a cylinder, and one half of it has is completely glazed, all windows, and the other part is almost completely closed, very small windows and heavily insulated. Now we have hot summers and we have cold winters. On winter days, we want the sun to heat up the building, so the glazed side, the side with the windows, follows the sun. On hot days like today, you want to avoid that. You don't want, you don't want the sun to heat up the building. So the part with the few windows and with the heavy insulation follows the sun, so that the building doesn't overheat. That's the basic idea. And it also has a big photovoltaic installment on the roof, which also turns independently. It's a tracking system which always finds the ideal angle to the sun.
Batteries capable of storing excess electricity is imperative for the Plus Energy houses in the smart city to function more effectively. An architecture firm in downtown Freiburg.
Hello.
Welcome here.
Yeah? Yes.
The firm, pursuing sustainable architecture and urban planning, also handles various smart city innovations. One of them is an energy grid that stores solar energy in a battery form to be supplied to buildings and vehicles later. The problem at the moment is the price.
Of course, it's more expensive, but after some time, after some years, it will pay back, not only because of the generating of the sustainable energy, but also of the multiple use of the battery that will also provide energy, for instance, for the electromobility, for electrical cars and electric buses and in these systems. It could be like a sustainable green cell, yeah, like a green cell that is the basic of an area, the basic of a district, yeah, that could organize all the energy consumption and the energy gaining for the whole area. First of all, for the buildings, second for the district, and then for the whole city.
This firm, specializing in smart city architecture, has led projects not only in Germany, but also in subtropical regions like southern China and Taiwan to find ways to save more energy. What kind of living environment would such a fervent pursuit of energy conservation bring us? In Vauban, plants grow lushly on buildings and keep the air clean and fresh. The Vauban community exemplifies the clean, natural environment that Freiburg is so proud of. In fact, the whole town is a big park. A living environment that provides more green spaces and greater relaxation is guaranteed by cutting-edge environmental technologies.
Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen. Hi, hello.
Hi, Andrea.
Andrea Bertuccini must have given over 100 guided tours of Vauban to foreign visitors. Today, he will be the guide for smart city specialists Kim Song-kyun and Ali. He first takes them to the main road in Vauban.
This is the main street, and it is interesting because you said normally when you see a street, in a normal street, it's a place for cars. And look at the street. We have more or less, if you 40 meter wide, more or less, and then just look at the space devoted to the cars, water, and then we have a huge pavement for people again. So out of 40 meters wide, only maybe 3 or 4 meters are devoted to cars.
There are hardly any cars on the streets except for the main road. The vehicle ownership rate in Vauban is only 17 cars for every 100 people. That means the residents can travel around the area without the threat of cars. Vauban is a new city, but not a completely planned city. This village is evolving naturally with the help of the residents and specialists from diverse fields.
So there are many companies, many small and mid-sized companies as well, especially in Germany. A lot of small and mid-sized companies having very nice products for this kind of project. To reduce energy costs, to reduce energy consumption. Vauban City, we've seen the panels on the roof. Some of them are almost 20 years old. Of course, there will be a certain time to upgrade, give them new generation of solar panels. for the roofs. This is going to increase the efficiency and the output of energy. And maybe a few years later, you can improve your facade of the building and save more energy for heating and cooling.
Overdeveloped and overpriced downtown residential areas can no longer provide comfortable housing. Perhaps a real smart city can begin at a location a little outside of the city.
It's very difficult to buy or to rent affordable flats. Because of course, if you have a very high quality of life and you are very close to the city center, in a free market society, even if you do some social housing and so on, some years ago, the city administration decided, for example, to build a new district outside the limit of the physical limit of the city, which is still very well connected will be very well connected with an existing tram line, which will be prolonged.
An eco-friendly playground built only with rocks and lumber, without steel and plastic. To the children growing up in Vauban, city and nature may not be conflicting ideas. In the past, man built cities to keep nature out. Human beings are part of nature and came to long for it again. Now, smart cities are trying to provide that primal living environment through a new paradigm in urban policy.
Smart city is all about the people and also to think about the human being. No matter where you live, if you want to live in a smart city, you're not talking about 5 or 10 years. You're talking about more than 100 years you're living in this smart city. Then, it's a very simple answer. We need to remember people, a human being who lives in smart city.
Smart city is no longer a city just in your imagination. Now that the vision is clear, the smart cities of tomorrow will come in the shape that we all dreamed of. They must exist for humans. Smart city, the new future city, is a city that brings nature and humankind together.